people go, man, I like that theme song. And I go, yeah, man, I like that theme song too. Because it reminds me of when I was a kid and I was starting to play drums. I wanted every song to be a fast song. When I was a kid on the radio, as soon as they would hit the ballad, I would go, oh, this sucks. And I'd start turning the dial because what I wanted was, come on, everybody, boom. Boom. And I don't know, I'm going to ask Silvio, because I've been watching Carmine, Appice, all these drummers. They seem to know the technical side of this. I don't. I have no idea what the technical side is. But what I love is the bum, 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 bum. So I don't know. Is that 4/4? Is that, I don't know what that time signature is. But Silvio Ennella, welcome as a drummer, a lifelong professional classic rock drummer. It is a thrill to talk drumming with you, man.
Hey, what's up, Ed, my Bronx brother?
That's it. That's it. Now, remember, we're on the FCC, so you got to watch what you say, okay? You're on a big FM radio station, so I got to watch you. With our Bronx vocabulary, we could get busted, right? So,
yeah, go ahead.
Why do you love the drums?
Well, like most drummers, it started with Ringo on the Ed Sullivan Show. But after I saw Ringo, living in the Bronx, the houses were attached to each other. And on one block, you would have like 50 relatives that lived on the same block. So right next door to me was my cousin's house. Billy Ennella, his brother John, played drums. And we would go down the basement into the backyard and play basketball. But we'd always pass his drum set in the middle of the basement. So we would play basketball. I would run back inside, get a glass of water from the sink, and I would sneak and get on his drum set. And while everybody's waiting for me to come back in the yard, I would be playing his drums. And that's how it all started. But he had the drumsticks a certain way on the drums that if anybody touched them, he knew about it. And he would kick the living out of his brother. We'd always beat up his brother because I kept on using his drums.
Right.
But that's how it started.
And his brother was letting you get near those drums, and that's the violation. Nobody gets near those drums.
Exactly. And to this day, his brother still owns that drum set and still playing.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get to drum sets. We'll get to drum sets in a while. We'll come back to that, but I want to stick with you. So you get the bug that you want to do this, okay? But we all get bugs when we're a kid that we want to do stuff. When did you see, wow, I could do this? This does sound like Ringo. I got this. I think I know what to do here. When does that happen?
Well, it started with a snare drum and a cymbal, and the very first song I ever played to my brother and his cousin and the family laughing at me was Ragdoll by the Four Seasons. Simple beat. That was it. And then after that, I just got a drum set about a year later, and I just buried myself down the basement, kept on playing to all different albums, all different bands, and then all of a sudden it started sounding better and better and better. Never took a lesson, and that was it. I said, wow, I could do this.
I could do this.
And I had to play the drums, I think, anyway.
There you go. Now, what is it? I want to get down to your ear, right? You're a kid. You don't want to BS yourself, right? You're a serious guy. So if you're saying, wow, this is happening, well, you're matching in your ear, your memory, wow, this is coming together like a record. You were able to sound like a record.
Well, I thought I was sounding like the record. To this day, I'll play certain parts of songs that should be there, and then I'll play the songs the way I feel they should be played.
Right.
I mean, there's so many great drummers out there.
Yes.
Yes. Great drummers out there, but they took lessons their whole life and practiced their whole life. I got sidetracked a lot growing up in the Bronx, hanging out in the park. That's another story, but I got sidetracked a lot.
Wow, this is great. Ringo gives a talk early in the Beatles, early on in the Beatles. I posted it under the announcement for your appearance. And he says to the interviewer, I can't duplicate a Phil. I can play a fill. He goes, I don't know where they come from. He goes, a fill in the drums is an emotional moment that I have during the song. So if they love it, but they need me to redo it, I always had to say to them, I really can't. I'll try. I mean, I'll go at it. Is he onto something here? Are fills so individualized? Talk about that. A drum fill. This is the beat is going, but you're going to switch and you go ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum back to. There's a fill in between. What is a fill? What is Ringo talking about? Go ahead.
Well, that is so true, especially when you're playing live. When I'm playing live, you know, as you know, I'm in 4 bands. I'm playing live. Every song that I'm playing, the next night I'm playing it differently with the fills. Yeah, without a doubt, it's coming to you. You're saying to yourself, "Wow, this right now in this moment, this will sound good." And you're never going to duplicate it unless you go back and listen to your recordings and you sit down. Like to this day, all the songs that I recorded with Thunderroad, the fills that are on those studio versions, when we play them live, I don't play nowhere those type of fills that I did in the studio versions. And that's how it is. It comes to you as you're playing, whatever comes to your head. And it's a God-given gift. It really is.
Isn't it? I mean, it really is, right? I mean, it's born in. I was talking last night with somebody else about this, right? The origins of drumming on planet Earth are tribes warning one another with the war drum or the ceremony or ritual. So drums have always been intended, you see if you agree, they've always been intended to move people. I'm warning you, I'm partying with you, but there's movement that the drum initiates. So you can have a party with a bunch of people dancing, having a great time. All that's there are drums. They're dancing to drums.
Exactly.
Talk about what you love. Striking a drum, what happens? You bang a snare. You start a song. You finish a song. There's a single strike on a drum. It's so beautiful to hear. What happens when you strike the drum and that sound, resonates out? What are you getting? It's got to feel amazing to bang that thing.
Well, without a doubt, especially when you're doing the first song of the night, the chills that go through your body,
right?
Especially if everything's sounding right and everything's on time, it's a feeling you can't even describe unless you are a drummer playing those drums. So yeah, the feeling is incredible. That's why I'm still doing it.
Now you got me. That was going to be my next question. Please talk about that. I'm the same way. Sil, I love drums. I always love them. I played them for a nanosecond of my life, but I love them. I see a set of drums. I have to go sit down, look, feel, examine them. But with my work like this, I don't see myself stopping. I really don't. Horgan said it last hour. We might be having more fun in our lives right now than ever before. We got some cash. We got some accomplishment. We don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. Why do you still love it? I know you love it because you're a guy who loves what you do. I've been backstage with you. I've seen you play. I know you love it, but why do you love it? What is it doing for you? I understand the audience. I understand it's great to be Led Zeppelin and feel, but what does it do for you? What are you getting out of it as the drummer?
Well, going back to being down in the basement in the Bronx, I can't tell you how many hours I played to records. Hours. So now at this age, at 64, being in the 4 bands, and every band's, I don't want to use the word because we're on the radio, but every band kicks. Every band is different. It's just a great feeling that knowing the accomplishments that you made now at 64 years old, and I'm still playing the drums. And believe me, I have a lot of issues with my arthritis. But when I'm on those drums, I don't feel anything.
You don't feel anything.
I'm just locked in.
That's it.
And I think I replaced you in the Thunderroad Band.
I think
before it became Thunderroad. If I remember correctly.
I should be so lucky. I have to tell a story on you. It's a quick one, but I have to tell it because it just says everything all at once. I'm standing on a corner, and I'm waiting for Horgan. We're waiting for band practice, and him and Charlie come around the corner together, Charlie Spina. And Spina thought you were amazing also. So I'm talking about something else, and I hear them say, man, Silvio, God, did you see him? Blah, blah, blah. And I remember going, who's Silvio? And I remember they were so kind to me. They didn't want to say, like a real drummer, not like you. So a real drummer. They didn't say that. They go, he's very good. They kept saying, he's very good. And I was like, wow, this guy's really good. And Spina used to light up. Like, Spina used to want to do Zeppelin all the time at band practice. Whenever there was a lull in band practice, he'd go into some Jimmy Page solo, some song. We weren't doing it, but he was working his ass off to get that song right. So he would always let out, Silvio would sound great. And then I started to get the hint. I go, you know something? I think they wish Silvio was playing drums. Maybe Silvio should be. Fantastic. Dude, you don't even know how great that is. Like, when you're a kid, you have all these insecurities, but when you see it, I saw you, and then I saw what happened when you played. It really is magical. Like, that's not made up. That's not like in somebody's mind. You really enlivened everybody. You took the whole band and breathed oxygen. You gave it two things. A great drummer gives a band a lot of oxygen. That means that they're very powerful at this moment because you're a Rock of Gibraltar. They could do anything, and they know if they bring it back, you got them, and the audience will love that. So you get oxygen. The second thing you get off a great drummer is you don't have to think. Your incredible beat literally you can sit in the pocket. You can sit in the pocket and let the drummer carry all of the things you're doing. You're doing a guitar solo, you're doing a bass line, even singing. You can feel that drummer. Now, am I wrong about it? I mean, this is what I felt being on stage, being around. What's it like to be in that pocket?
No, but I have, I think between the four bands, probably about 17, 18 bandmates, and I want you to tell them that next time you see them. Anytime. When it's cooking, what does it feel like for you? When you're on, what is that feeling on stage? Well, it puts a smile on my face without a doubt, especially when you're looking out into the audience and you see everybody pumping their fists at you and at the band. It's a band thing, but it is a great feeling when you see everybody getting into it and you know you're on that night. Because there are nights that everybody's off. It happens. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Yeah. It happens. We're not playing Madison Square Garden. We're playing outdoor festivals and bars, stuff like that. But no, it's great seeing people's faces, how happy they are. All right. To the music. I have a staggering question for you. So take it slow and try to give me the real answer. But it's a staggering, unfair of me. Hard. Well, it's a staggering question. I have no right to ask it. I have no right to ask this of you. But I'm going to ask it because I'm so curious. Could you imagine how many times do you think you've played live? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. 1,000 or more. Gotta be. Gotta be. Do the math on the easily. So just at my age last year at 64, 63 with the four bands, probably played about 60 plus shows. There you go. Just that one year. Yeah. So here's the question about that. All right. That is what makes it so special, right? When you have come on that many times, and are you playing somewhere tonight? You got a gig? Oh no, you're virtual COVID world. Actually, we lost 15 shows already. I'm sure. No, and it's impossible. I don't see it. Where are you going to? And a Resurrection, I don't see as a virtual. You're not going to sit in front of a Skype and play. That's not what you guys do, right? Or do you? I don't even know. No. Well, that Resurrection band started as a band to get the black neighborhood together. And 4 years later, we are so fortunate because 4 years into it, people come out just about every time we play. Maybe we had, I'm not BSing, maybe we had one or two band nights with crowds. Yeah. So that band Resurrection Band, which is totally different from the other three bands. Right. Like I said, every band's different. That band there, we lost, as of now, we probably lost about 10 shows.
Right.
But what are you going to do?
This is going to be one of the worst periods for creatives because the momentum has been slowed for creatives. But you guys will be back with a vengeance. All right. The different kinds of you just mentioned you're in the 4 bands. The bands are different.
Right.
So I have a drummer question for you. To kind of a musician question.
Uh-huh.
Do you bring the identical drumming to these different bands because the band's like, I want that Silvio sound? Or do you modify what you bring to a certain band because a band has a sound and you adapt to that band and play it a little different than the others? Which is it?
Well, it depends on the songs, but every band that I'm in, Thunderroad, 45 years. Phoenix, that's strictly on Long Island, 24 years. Resurrection, 4 years. The Bronx 4 Band, 3 years. You know, I was getting that plug in. You know that.
Beautiful.
Anyway,
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
I play hard in every band.
That's
You're
right.
getting who I am.
You're
My
getting
style
Silvio.
is a moon,
You got
a bottom
Silvio.
style,
Correct.
a big style. Exactly.
Got
exactly.
it. So I'm
You know, and
watching.
I have
I'm
great
watching.
bandmates too.
You got it. No, absolutely, without a doubt. I'm watching Keith Moon last night, getting ready for you. I pulled out a Keith Moon interview, and it's the last interview on Good Morning America before he dies, and he looks very together. He doesn't look nuts, crazy, out of control. Are rock stars typically, and you've been around the business 45 years, this is mostly hype, all these reputations. Keith Moon, to you, is a drummer, not a guy who jumps off a balcony, not a an insane person.
Right.
You loved his drumming, right? Talk about his drumming.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not human what he does. He's got to be one of the fastest coming out of rolls into rolls. Incredible. But I have to say, though, if you see the new Who, you got to give props to Zach, Ringo's son. He's unbelievable. He was the only one that could fill in Moon's shoes. But Moon, I mean, there'll never, ever be anybody like him. I mean, he could take a song and take the drums all the way out, off, and then come all the way back in, and he's spot on when he comes back into the pocket. And not too many drummers could do that.
And
that was his style.
Right? And that's a small band. If you're in the Who, you have to be great. You can't hide behind anything. You're on full throttle the whole time, right?
Exactly, and that's how he was. He was screwed up a lot too. I mean, but when he was on, forget it. Nobody came near him.
So, living, one of the greatest living drummers, Carmine Appice. I used to call him Carmine Appice when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I thought the album was Beck, Bogart, and Appice. But you learn as you get older how to pronounce people's names. All right, he is the Vanilla Fudge drummer who influenced John Bonham. I saw a story last night. John Bonham goes to Carmine's drum clinic when he's an unknown to learn off of Carmine. So how important are other drummers? Do you need Carmine as a drummer? Like, oh, my God, if that guy hadn't been out there first, do you feel a lineage with these guys, the great drummers?
Well, Carmine was in my top 5 growing up. I can't tell you how many times I played Keep Me Hanging On, Take Me for a Little While. He's unbelievable. I keep using that word, but these drummers, especially at his age, unbelievable. If Carmine actually got Bonham a Ludwig endorsement deal, and that's how Bonham got into the Ludwig kits. But, Carmine and other drummers, Palmer, I just seen Palmer a couple of months ago before everything was shut down. Yeah, you take a little from each drummer because each drummer has their own unique style. There are only 2 drummers that are alike. No way. Because every drummer, like we were talking about earlier, you get different feels in songs as you're playing them. But these drummers that are in their 70s, like Carmine and Carl Palmer, unbelievable what they're doing at this age. Unbelievable. But yes, you take everything from a little bit from each drummer. I just sit down and listen to say, oh, wow, that sounds cool. Let me see if I could put it in this song. And that's how it works as a drummer, my end of it.
Silvio Ennella, lifelong classic rock drummer, currently in 4 bands: Thunderroad, Resurrection. Give the other 2 again. I didn't jot them down. You're in 4 bands right now.
Right. Well, Thunderroad, Phoenix, Resurrection, and Bronx 4. That's how we started.
There you go.
That's
all right.
the band who started. And one more thing, Ed.
Yeah.
I got to give props to all my bandmates. Every one of them in all 4 different bands, great bandmates. I wouldn't have it any other way with the guys that I play with. And there is no fighting at all, which is incredible. Think about that. 4 bands and no fighting within the band. Or these bands would have never made it. So,
and it does matter that the guys playing with you kind of know you and you know them musically. That works as a big advantage live, right, when you guys are playing live.
Exactly. Well, the bass player and the lead guitar player in the Resurrection Band in Bronx 4, Archie on bass and Johnny G on lead guitar, they're the same in both bands. We just have different singers. Got Tony Gizzo in the Resurrection, and you got Victoria Levy in the Bronx 4 band.
Yeah.
And then Phoenix is totally different with Rob on lead, Kim on vocals, Tony on bass. And then actually you got Thunderroad, which you know all about them. Pat Hogan, John Burke, and Mike, and Peter Dammer, and Tully, and Tommy Beer, and of course Pat Hogan, our fearless leader.
There you go.
So every band's different. Every band's different, and every band has great, great chemistry. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm very fortunate to be in 4 bands at this age. And when I get off the drums, I can't walk. That's another story. I'll deal with that pain. That's
I got
sure.
you. I got you on that.
And
so,
very fortunate opening up all those great acts with Thunderroad. I mean,
listen,
we would never have these. Forget it.
You got a lot of young people, listening now. And I remember when I used to listen to old guys talk about being in music, and I couldn't wait to get in. So in today's world, you're going to really be a standout and an outlier if what you're looking to do is get instruments and go down the basement. Why is it still great for kids? Why would you still recommend this? You guys love music. Learn how to play the instruments. Get in there and do something. Why is that still worthwhile advice for kids?
Well, the advice I'll definitely give them is take lessons. I made a major mistake not taking lessons because I blew a big job in Atlantic City. That's another story. So take your lessons. Learn how to read music. 2 different types of drummers. The drummers that don't take lessons, the drummers that do take lessons. They're both great style of drumming, without a doubt. Me, I'm glad I went the route I went by learning to play by ear, but also, like I said, I blew a big job. When they put the charts in front of me, I didn't even know what the hell I was doing.
Right.
I played the song by memory. And the guy says, we need you to play today. You're good at what you do, but you got to learn how to read.
Yeah,
and that was that.
read.
So learn how to read music.
Right.
Learn how to read music and practice.
And don't you love...
That's the best way to do it.
Don't you also love that the drums are physical? I mean, you're sweating your ass off. You got your feet going with the double bass. You got the everything. There's so much activity that you drop a couple of pounds of sweat over at 90 minutes, a couple hours. I think that is so healthy instead of thumbing a phone, moving a mouse. Moving a mouse is not music. Maybe I'm a heretic, but I just don't find moving a mouse on a computer is music.
Yeah, you're right about that. I always kid with the band. I'm the first one there. I'm the last to leave. And the reason why I'm the first one there, because of my age and my arthritis, if I don't get a spot in front of the bar, I'm done.
There you go.
And, even if it's a 3-piece kit, I got to drag it. But yes, that's your heart's always going and everything. Even my heart doctor said, best thing for you is that you're playing drums. So it's physical, but it's great. And you do lose weight. That's a good way to lose weight.
Come on, it's a great sweat. You get all the catharsis. You get all the. It's fantastic. All right, final question as I let you go.
Yes.
Thank you, by the way, in advance of saying goodbye. Thank you. This was great. I'm telling you, all my life, I've always wanted to get you on the air. You're on. We're going to get you on again. I think drumming is fantastic. Right. But let me ask a final question. I have the same love of a drum kit than anybody who plays drums. You see it and you go, oh, man, that's beautiful. Oh, God, look at those things. I bet they sound great. So you mentioned earlier Ludwig. People are going to know Slingerland in the old days. A lot of great names of drums. Are you tempted or turned off or have any strong feelings about these electric drums? Black circles, black circle, plug it in the wall. I don't know. I look at these things, I go, maybe you're backward. What's wrong with you? You should like these. I don't like them. I fall in love with a shell pack, from Yamaha or something. What's with these electric drums? Am I missing it? Are drummers coming to see them as real? Are they real drums? Are they?
I would never play live with them. Without a doubt, I was never big on electronic drums. I own 7 drum kits, okay, and I own 1 electronic drum kit. But that electronic drum kit is for me to practice on. That's what I get out of it for myself. Playing live with it, I never would play live with it, but I practice on it because naturally, you can't really play with acoustic drums if you're not down a basement in the Bronx.
Right.
And your neighbors are your family. They're not going to mind you making all that noise.
Right.
So I use the electronic drums to practice. And even practicing on them, Ed, it's still not the same feeling.
It's not. How could it be? It can't be. There's something when that stick hits a Remo drum head that the head gives. There's a percussive sound out of the bend of the skin. Anyway, you're a fantastic guest. I admire everything about you. When we were kids, you were such a dedicated kid. And now when I'm backstage with you a couple of years ago at the Chiller, that was one of the best talks I've had with you in years. Music is so amazing for people. It's better than antidepressive medication. It's better than anti-anxiety. It's better than working out in the gym even. I love people who work in the gym, but imagine going to a gymnasium where a song comes out on the other side. You are fantastic. How do we find you on Facebook?
Oh, you go to my name, Silvio P. A middle initial, and Ennella. And the bands are Pat Hogan and the Thunderroad Band. Resurrection is Resurrection X. That's our Facebook page. The Bronx 4 Band is BX-4 FOUR. And Phoenix is Phoenix Rocks On. So that's how you find me on Facebook with the bands and on my personal account. And by the way, you want to buy an electronic drum set?
I said it was the last question, but I got to sneak one more in. What year do you date your drumming back to? In your personal diary, when do you consider the first year as a drummer?
Well, the time that I was telling you that I had 1 snare drum and a cymbal playing ragdoll.
Right.
And my brother and my cousins laughing at me on the couch.
Yeah.
Where my parents, my aunts and uncles, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
Everybody coming in to see me play ragdoll. Boom, boom, boom. That's all I did. I would hit the cymbal. Right. And then actually my brother had to get up and say I could do that like a real wise guy. But anyway, so you got to go back to, I believe I was in the 5th grade.
Wow.
So 5th grade would be 66, I believe.
Holy cow. Sil, fantastic. Fantastic. Yep. Congratulations. You sound amazing. I look forward to the next time I see you in person, all right?
My pleasure, Ed. You're the best. You're the best.
Take care, my brother. More Ed Tyll after this.
Florida Man Radio. You have Power Radio with Justin Clark.
How about my 7-year-old? She goes to a private school for 2nd grade, which, brilliant idea of mine.